I first learned to solve a Rubik's Cube probably late 2011. And it started off, honestly, with a rivalry with my older brother. When we were growing up, we were kind of neck and neck in a bunch of different things. You know, like I learned to play guitar. A couple months later, he started playing guitar. He started doing martial arts, then I started doing martial arts. And there was a whole back and forth throughout a lot of our childhood. And so one day I saw him playing with Rubik's Cube. And, you know, me being the 11, 12-year-old kid I was at the time, I said, there's no way you're going to be better than me at this. I learned to solve it, and the rest is history.
I was like sitting one day and I saw this like Rubik's Cube. I tried to solve it. I couldn't. So I looked on YouTube. I finally learned how to solve it. I kept doing that and then quit. And then like 6 months later, I saw it again, knew kind of how to solve it, and then learned more, and now I'm at the competition.
I learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube back at the end of 7th grade. I don't quite remember what year that is at this point, and I learned out of spite. I had someone in an orchestra I played in who knew how to solve Rubik's Cubes. They refused to teach me how, and I was like, I'm going to learn on my own, and I'm going to become better than you. So I did.
I first learned to solve a Rubik's Cube back in 2015, 2014 maybe. First came up when we got a Rubik's Cube for Christmas, and everyone in my family could solve two sides, and I actually couldn't. So it took me a while, but over summer break, I eventually got two sides, and I was so happy about it that I just said, you know what, let me just solve the whole thing. So I looked it up on YouTube, and that's when I learned how to solve it.
I discovered competitions just through pure curiosity. You know, as I was learning to get faster and I was looking up algorithms, you know, YouTube recommendations would start popping up, and I would see, you know, these cool twisty puzzles, and then competitions started popping up. And then, you know, once I learned more information, I figured out how to actually sign up for one. I found one at Brown University, which was only, I think, 45 minutes from the house I grew up in. So it was, you know, pretty clear to me. I was like, hey, it's close. I'm available. Let's go try it.
There's a documentary on Netflix about speed cubing, so I watched that, and that was part of me like figuring out that competitions existed, learned what the World Cube Association was and about the website, and I was like, you should look for some competitions.
When I started learning how to solve and got faster at it, I thought there's going to be some sort of like competition for this. So I just Googled Rubik's Cube competitions and found a site called cubingusa.org.
I practiced probably a couple times a week. When I first started around 2012, 2013, I was practicing daily. We're talking, you know, a couple hours a day. And I held that up for a good amount of time, but as I've gone older, unfortunately, other priorities have started to take over. So I can't compete, or I can't practice as much as I want to, but still trying to keep up as much as I can.
I practice like 3 hours a day.
Yeah, same.
Every day?
Yeah,
Yes.
same with me. Because like I just get up and just like practice algorithms and learn some new stuff.
Before high school and college, I would practice pretty much like every day before I do homework. That was like a necessity. But now that I'm in college, it's basically down to like 2 days a week.
When I was just getting into competitions, I was practicing like hours and hours per day. But over the years, like I've started to get like wrist pain when I practice too much. So I've really sort of had to like manage how much I practice. So normally it's like maybe pick it up like a few times a week for an hour or so, but probably no more than that.
I typically practice maybe once or twice a week in terms of actually trying to get better. I do solves pretty much every day, but I don't put in like the dedicated practice and trying to get better every time.
I don't prepare for a competition by doing anything fancy. I just go out throughout my normal day. I show up and do my thing and go home.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I prepare for a competition mainly just by preparing my Rubik's Cubes in my cube bag, and that's it.
throw the cubes into the backpack and hop in the car.
Exactly.
That's the extent of my preparation.
No special practice.
Actually, no. I'll add an asterisk that usually if there's a Dunkin' available, I'll get a Dunkin' coffee. That's about the extent of it.
Well, this is my first competition, but I was a little scared, so I practiced a lot, like more than I did usually, and I did pretty nice.
Typically before a competition to prepare, I'll see, okay, where is it? How long does it take to get there? I'm not going to sleep enough the night before. Where's somewhere to get coffee? And let's go.
Oh, my favorite event is definitely 4x4. And no shame, it's because that's the best event I'm at. I think my current ranking is sitting 12th in the world and 4th in North America. And, I've maintained a rank similar to that for the better part of 6 years at this point. So without a doubt, that's my favorite event just because it's what I'm most comfortable in.
My best time is like 21.52-ish, like somewhere around that. On 3x3 specifically.
For 3x3, I'm averaging just around low to mid 8 seconds. My best single in competition is 6 flat.
My best time at home is 18 seconds, and my best average is 27 seconds, which I got this competition.
My best solve was, I think, like 25 seconds. And then my best average was like 31 or something like that.
On 3x3, my average is around 14 seconds with a best of a low 8-second solve.
I average probably around like 9 to 10 seconds on 3x3. My best in competition is an 8.84 average and a 7.29 single.
I haven't had any records. I have had a good amount of podiums. The most notable of those was I finished second in 4x4 at US Nationals 2019 in Baltimore. From there, it's just been up and up. That was because I got that podium. That was actually how I landed a sponsorship with the Cubicle. And then from there, they've been supporting me nonstop.
I've gotten a few podiums. I can't remember the specific number. I've gotten like maybe 20 total medals. No crazy achievements like a podium at nationals, but I'll get there.
Give yourself time. I got faith. Yeah.
I do have almost 50 podiums, and I have a handful of wins. I can't remember which ones.
I have had a couple podiums. I placed third in 4x4 at a competition. I placed third in 3x3 blindfolded at a competition.
I think the biggest competition I've been to was, I want to say Worlds 2019. I want to say it was around 1,200 people. Fairly confident it's over 1,000, but the exact number I'm fuzzy on.
My favorite memory, that's really hard to say. There's really so many of them. I think the thing I like the most, just the memories I've made with like hanging out with people outside of competitions. Like it's more so about the social aspect than really about the competing because there'll always be more rounds, but memories like kind of stick forever, So it's definitely cool to see when like a friend of yours gets like a really good result for them. Like that's always fun because it's almost better than like when you get a really good result in a way because it's like awesome to see someone that you've like really bonded with over this like achieve one of their goals.
Yeah, I have a bunch of friends I've met at competitions. This guy right here, throughout my time, I've met people that will probably be lifelong friends. Phil Yu, the founder of the Cubicle, I met him at my first competition almost 11 years ago, and to this day, we're still very good friends. And, that's just one of many people I've met doing this.
Yeah, I've met quite a few friends by competing, and it's been quite a fun time.
The social aspect of competitions always, I think, is kind of surprising because, you would expect to come to a competition and it's like, okay, you're there to compete and then go home. But, people here are incredibly friendly. They're incredibly social. It's like, yes, you're here to compete, but, you got a lot of like minds together. And
exactly.
And everyone just likes kind of hanging out with each other.
Exactly. If someone does well, everyone else will congratulate them. And
yeah.
It's just very fun.
Yeah, I've definitely met a lot of people at competitions that I talk to regularly, including Jesse. I think it's really special where you can meet people in a community like this, but then also be able to sort of connect with them outside of competitions. And that's sort of something I've found, just like there's so many like-minded individuals that it honestly just kind of expands beyond this community in a lot of cases.
I have met actually quite a few of my close friends through competing, and I never would have met them had it not been for competitions.
And also going to competitions, you meet friends. It's not just about like solving, having good times. Meet friends, have a good time.
Wait, can we do a race in the...
Yeah.
All right, let's do a race. Scramble it. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. I solved it. I was.
Nice.
Yay.
Yay.